Rightio, made it to the Jardine River ferry. $160 to cross at the moment for a single vehicle. $250 if you've got a trailer on the back or a van. And as you'll see, it takes about a minute to cross. I think I spent more time waiting to get the ticket in the servo than it did to cross the ferry.
Morning. How you going?
And we're going to get up to the old crossing in a minute, but you can just see here how much the current and the wind is pushing this barge downstream. You can only imagine how bad it'd be if you're in the water or doing a crossing with the car. Probably why a lot of people got unstuck back in the day using the old crossing. But that is our next port of call, so we'll get off this tin can and keep on heading north. Hello budget campers, Brad here back with part 3 of the Caoe York series, Caoe York Trek if you will. We're here, I'll spin you around, we're here at the northern side of the Jardine, the old Jardine River crossing. Back when the real pioneers come up here and had a go through this joint. I just need to be careful because this is prime crop country. And I'm hoping midday they're either under a tree having a snooze because their bellies are full, or they're out in the water. So yeah, before the ferry come in to play downstream where we crossed, oh, there goes a croc now. Just heard it and seen that ripple in the water. Pretty sure they're not like bears. They can't outrun a person on land. I don't think. Yeah, crocodile. Yeah, crocky. Probably not going to go any closer than this, but yeah, over the other side there's the northern section of the old telegraph track, and there he is there. I wish I could zoom in further, but I'm not going to be able to. He's at the end of them lilies. He just stuck his eyes up. I think that's time for us to leave. So part 3, we've crossed the Jardine. We're now up in the tippity top of Australia. Apparently there is camping here. I don't think you'd be game camping so close to the handbag store, but plus there's still a bit of water lying around here, so I can just imagine the mosquitoes would be pretty thick here at night time. But we've crossed the ferry. The new bit of Bamaga Road's being worked on, so we're detouring on the old Peninsula Road, and it is horrible with corrugation, so it's been slow going. We're slowly making our way north anyway towards Bamaga, but yeah. Oh, I'll be happy to get back on the black stuff, I can tell you that now. So I don't know what bush campsite NJ1 refers to, but that's probably NJ1 down there. Although you can come in, as he's saying, it's not that hard to get in here. You'd probably bring a van in here, and you've got a pretty decent sized pad here to set up, sit under the ferns and have a couple of beers, and yeah. So we're going to keep trucking north. I was going to see some local things and get to the tip today, get the photo and get back to Somerset Beach, but I think we might just head straight to Somerset Beach and worry about the exploring tomorrow. I think that'll be the way to do it. So we got one casualty here too, and we better fix this up before we go anywhere. Mr. UHF aerial is not happy. So we'll fix that up and we'll get on up the road. Alright, Brad from the future coming in here. Looking at satellites, and I don't know how long ago this Google image was taken on Google Earth, but there's definitely been traffic going across the Jardine River at the old crossing now. As you've seen before, there's no bollards in place to actually stop you, apart from that big sign. But there is definitely tyre marks in that sand. If it's anything like the Wenlock, it's going to be knee-deep soft sand. Good luck to you. But in hindsight, $160 to get across the ferry. If you are paying to camp at a campsite up north or caravan park, you're double paying just for the privilege of being at the top. But yeah, dangerous times crossing the old Jardine. Well, she's a windswept shithole. We didn't come to Somerset, we come down to Naruru Beach. A little bit closer to get to the beach than going up to Somerset, but earlier on in the year, it'd probably be a nice spot to camp. Nice flat ground here, but this wind is not going to do us good at all. Big container ship coming down the coast over there at the moment. Yeah, I know there's tracks down onto the beach and that there, but we're not even going to try that after what happened this morning. So, got two options. We'll either backtrack and go back into the jungle somewhere, or we go, I think it's 11 k's up the coast here. We might go for a bit of an explore. It's only 1:45, so we've got time. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be our camp, but we're aiming for the top of Australia, and we found the eastern seaboard. It's making me seasick just looking at it. Anyway, all right, let's go and see what else we can find. So as we drop down here off this sand dune to the ocean, in hindsight, not a bad little camp spot here up on the left. Plenty of rocks down on the beach to get and put under a tie, although that would have been pretty level there. But I wasn't thinking, I was too worried about the sand dune we'd just come down. And now here we are on a beach, and I haven't done any beach driving at all. Not really a fan of it. It can go south really quick, and as you'll see shortly, it sort of does. And I've seen too many videos of blokes trying to get across creek inlets on the sand and just getting bogged hopelessly. Again, if I had a second vehicle with me, I'd give it a go, but as you can see, nothing to winch off. some tyre tracks. There is a Hilux approaching here somewhere. I could not see it there anywhere, but pretty much by the time I turn around and get back to the start of the beach, it comes up on me. So I don't know where where that Hilux is hiding, but you'll see in a minute it just pop up out of nowhere, and I was not expecting it.
There you go. Yeah, I know. That Hilux come down the beach there, but I don't want to commit more. I'm guaranteed I'm going to have more of a sandy dune to try and climb back off the beach as well if there's a chance. I've got no idea when high tide is. I don't want to be on the beach when I don't have to. So we're airing down. Unfortunately, I got to take me gauge out. There's a hole in it, so I can't tell how far down I've actually gone. I've just gone down till they start to bulge, just to get that wider footprint. But yeah, hole in there because it spent its life in the box like that. So, tip for new players: don't do that. I've had too many near misses today. If I get out of here, we're sticking to the blacktop. Oh, wish me good luck. Tell you what, I did not think that was going to happen. It walked straight up there. I had to give it a bit more berries than I'm used to wanting to give my lovely car. So yeah, the same as coming out of Cockatoo Creek, it's not so much the traction issue. It's just 2.5 tons bottoming out on that big pile of sand in the middle of the track. So the guys in the Hilux asked me if I was alright, and I said yeah. Do you come this way often? Here I was thinking I wouldn't see anyone else out here, but they've come out for the lap for the day, so we need to stop doing this. We need to stop putting ourselves in mortal danger. Although it would have been a nice little spot to camp down there on that beach. Is where I first tried to go before realising you had to drive down on the beach. It was a good looking little spot if you didn't have these winds blowing in from the coast. So that's half an hour wasted. Now I've got sand everywhere. What's the plan? It's going to be quiet out here. We only go back up here to the top of the dune and drop down into the rainforest again, so I wasn't really looking for a camping spot when I come in. We'll have a look on the way out. Otherwise it's 3 or 4 k's back out to the Somerset road and we can go down there. But the main reason I wanted to come here first was because Somerset, you got Albany Islands out, so you're not going to get that sunrise in the morning. You're going to have an island in the way. But bring it back around here so you can see what's going on the way out of town here. The road, Somerset Road, and even the road in here has probably been the best road in the Cape so far that hasn't got tar on it. It's hard rock base, so there's not a lot of corrugations in here at all. I don't really need to stop and camp now. It's only 2:15, so I did see some traffic coming out of Bamaga heading north. Your typical 4-wheel drives that have probably left the caravan in town somewhere, or at the caravan park, or they're heading back to Ponsand Bay. So there are people up here. We passed about 13 or 14 of the motorbike riding group that do the Cape. They were coming back down, so they've obviously been up there and taken their photo for the day. We've taken out a 4-wheel drive. Well, there you go. It took having to get back up a sand hill for me to let the air out of my tyres. I was going to do it for the way back anyway, just to see if there's a noticeable difference. Oh, they skip. But we've done it now, so some light corrugations here. We'll just see how it is. See if I can be proven wrong, which is probably right. Burn off on one side and lush bush on the other side. I don't think I'm going to be able to camp here anywhere. Turkey. Turkeys can fly. That's one animal I was not expecting to see here. I've seen one Charters Towers across and camp there, and I've seen them all the way up here. Bloody black turkeys. I never knew we had wild turkeys. I know we used to call emus bush chooks down south, but I never knew there were actual bush chooks. Weird that they've populated so much of Cape York and the Queensland, yet I suppose there wouldn't be any natural predators. Now there's bugger all dingoes around. Hungry campers that forgot to bloody plug their fridge back in at night time or something. That's their biggest danger now. But anyway, we're
nearly back to the Somerset Road now. We'll try a different coastline. Where we are now is the start of the track. Goes back up there behind me, up there and around. It's going to go up and down and all the way around until it gets down to where we got stuck, or where I thought we were going to get stuck before. So, not optimal. Optimus? There was one little spot just as we dropped down there, but we're going to have to bite our teeth and go back and have a look at actual Somerset Beach. If it's going to be overcast like this the whole time, then we're not going to have a sunrise anyway. But yeah, there was a sign at the little T intersection back up there behind me that remember, marine stingers are a thing up here, so we won't be going into the water too far. The sand's nice and hard, so I'm not worried about getting stuck on here, but I've got no idea of tide times or anything, so I'm not even going to try and stay down here on the beach. That's nice and warm. All that black volcanic rock country that's down along here and up there, I don't know how far north it goes, but just reminds me of Samoa and some of the tropical islands off there, just that volcanic, and I've left my lights on. Oh, that black volcanic rock. Looks like there's bloody steps over there, but we won't worry about that. Backtrack to Somerset. We need to start working out where we're going to stay tonight. Stop playing games and stop getting ourselves in predicaments that are going to get us in trouble. Still got markings on the back of it. B, R and C. S33, serial number, number 33 maybe. They would have seen some sights. It's good to see the this lead cannon here. Like when I was in Townsville a couple of days ago, I seen on Facebook someone had come out and graffitied it, painted it all blue and stuff, but obviously in the last couple of days someone's been in here and painted it. Flagpole. Yeah, the old Somerset fort ruins. Aloha! Here we are at Somerset Beach. Went for a walk trying to get some coconuts and found this up in the Flotsam and Jetsam. So, welcome to Fiji. This damn overcast weather is going to shit me for the whole trip. But I suppose if the sun was out, it should be 2 or 3 degrees hotter. About 31, but that breeze coming off the ocean there is probably about 28, 29, which is good. So Albany Island over there, fishing charters, the boat's been going back and forwards as you'll see. But it's 3 o'clock, it's time for a beer, time to set up camp. So yeah, sort of not the biggest area camping wise, but it's not really level either. But if you had your ramps and your van jacks and everything else, it'd probably be alright. There's a big undercover area up there with 2 picnic tables, which if it was going to be wet, we'd go and park up on the top side of it. And it's amazing, we come in this far from that beach and all of a sudden the wind's gone. Here I was thinking I was going to get blown away tonight. So yeah, if it was going to get crappy weather, I do have 1 bar of service, so I will check it in a minute, but we'd easily go and camp up there next to that shelter, because no one else is here, which is good. But yeah, beer time. I'm going to work out our shower situation and go from there. But Somerset Beach on an overcast, cloudy, windy day. We're still 10, 11 k's off the tip, but we'll get there. We'll get there tomorrow. This is a velociraptor. Crikey! It's coming right for me. We might have to lock the car tonight. Otherwise these turkeys are going to take us for everything we're worth. Rightio, back at the budget kitchen tonight. We've got some wedges here that have defrosted. We've also got some fish pieces that I've defrosted as well. Just some your run-of-the-mill McCain fish bite, fingers, slices, things. So we're going to get this in here. We're Somerset Beach. We're about to hit 3,800 kilometres for this trip. Oh, I'm starting to feel it, I can tell you that now. Especially the corrugations, they are doing my head in, but that's why you come to the Cape. Or so they say. So I'm going to stack this fish in here. And stack it on its end. So that way hopefully that didn't work. I'm going to get that in so this doesn't blow away, because the wind's swirly and whirly, but I'm going to stack this up. Put some wedges in between. Something simple. I've been eating wraps out of the fridge for the last couple of days, so we need something a little bit more substantial. So that will be our 4 pieces of fish. We'll see how this goes. Click. Power on. Everything's defrosted, so we're going to just do one single nuke. Do 80 degrees for 4 or 5 minutes. Go 5 minutes and nuke it. The good thing about processed stuff like this, it's already pre-cooked. All you're doing is heating it up. Rightio, 4 minutes is done. Ah, that's hot. Alright, I'm happy with that. All on the plate, nice and easy. That fish and grotesquely large chips. One last step need. I was going to throw a couple of fresh lemons in, but didn't know how they were going to cope with the trip. So we've got a bottle of lemon juice here. Just going to do a good little sprinkling across the fishes like that. Yeah, that's tart. That's tart and not too smart. All right, yummo. Oh, and my own little piece of lawn to eat it on. Too bad the chair's not level, but anyway. Fish and chips on the coast. What else could you ask for? I'm going to enjoy this. I'll see you in the morning, because tomorrow, about 10k that way, is the tip of Australia. And hopefully there's wind and the clouds clear for it while we're up there. comes another one. This is the 7th zodiac that's come around from behind that island there. It's not Rocknest Island, whatever that northern island is. I think Thursday Island's over a bit further. Maybe they're coming from there and it's behind that island, but walking up from the car park, there's only one car. Thought I'd have the place to myself, and all of a sudden the grey nomads are getting Navy Sealed in from Zodiacs. But we've made it. One of the most remote places in Australia, and the tour buses are here. They're still down there singing the official greeters to Cape York, but here comes more. Another 4 boats have come over, which is interesting. They've got to be coming from Thursday Island, but the tourists are Navy Sealing into the tip. But here I am sitting on my little rock. The sun's trying to come out over there. I should go this way so you're not looking in the sun, but yeah. Achievement unlocked. Now, in typical truck driver fashion, get back in, throw her in neutral and drive, and yeah, express home. So that's Zodiac 20 by the time I climb back down to the car park. The overall walk's about 800 metres one way, so it is a fairly decent walk. At low tide you can go along the coast or along the beach. You've only got probably a 100 metre section of rock at the end, which is where all these Zodiacs were landing, and the tourists were making their approach, making ground at the tip of Australia. Hello, turkey. Well, that's going to do it for the Cape, for the tip. I'll see out here now. The SS Titanic's just turned up, and Britannic next to it. Seems like the best way to do the tip is to come by water. After doing that walk up over the hill, it's I wasn't going to have the camera on while I was huffing and puffing the whole way, but it's another Zodiac. That probably makes at least 15 Zodiacs coming across now, carrying about 10 people each. That's just insane, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So if that's now, you can only imagine what it's going to be like for the rest of the day. But yeah, anyway. Alright, come on camera, work. So, now, what are we going to do next? Kind of want to get out of this heat. This heat and this humidity, but we're a day away's travel from the cooler climate, so because of the heat, the fridge is working overtime. Not being in a remote area where I can leave the car doors open overnight to let that breeze through is definitely affecting battery consumption. I think the way it's going to be on the way home is we're just going to drive until the battery's 100%, then look for somewhere to camp. It's the only real thing I can do, because with dropping 50% overnight, it's limiting options. So hopefully we'll go back across the Jardine, and I'm thinking the Moreton Telegraph Station where we pulled up on that creek and had our first swim. I reckon if I can get in there on the creek and no one else is there, that'll be a good spot to camp. So hopefully we can get there with a battery topped up. It'll be a straight drive there except for the croc tent. I'm going to pull in and get some souvenirs. And then yeah, if I can get to Moreton, then that way the next day I can get to Cooktown and get back into the Daintree and hopefully do all that section that we didn't do on the way up. So that's the plan for now. I'll come back to you. Well, before I do, unfortunately, where I'm parked here you can't camp, but someone has camped and left all their Great Northern cans in the fire. They've only had a bit of old rotten wood and some coconut palms to burn, so there's no way that's going to melt cans. It's a shame. And the problem is, you could say dirty tourists, but that's probably locals, because there's that divide at the moment. The young'uns want no one to be here, but the old saying, do that and our communities are stuffed. Well, whoever's doing it, leaving shit like that on the ground. There's a broken fishing rod over there. There's just, even the signs there saying don't touch the rocks, don't move the rocks. Maybe that's for the stacks of rocks that are already up there, but every video I've watched of someone coming to the tip, picks up a rock and throws it on the stack. So even stuff like that is going to get people kicked out. But anyway, it's too crowded. I'm going to head south, get away from this ocean. Smelly salt water. Let's head inland, get back over the Jardine and head south. one last crossing of the Jardine ferry. Now, this Land Cruiser behind me was sitting about 100 metres, 200 metres behind me. The last 5 or 6 Ks just absolutely getting covered in dust. The road was narrow, so I didn't really have anywhere to slow down and turn off, but again, why sit up the arse of someone and get absolutely covered in dust? I was doing 85, 90, so it's not as if I was going slow, but it just boggles the mind why people do that and complain that their air cleaners are full of dust. But anyway, again, our 1 minute trip across the ferry. In hindsight, $160. That surely would get an adult ticket into Dreamworld or SeaWorld. You got a whole day to explore the attractions, but this is a 1 minute trip on a boat. But that's a different story for a different day. Also, a warning for anyone that is going to tow a caravan up here. If it's not an off-road van, if it doesn't have the ground clearance, you're probably going to have a bad time on the approach and departure to the ferry that is pretty steep on the bank, so just be mindful if you don't have ground clearance. Those of you with buses that might want to come up, or two-wheel drive cars, just be mindful. It is a bit of a steep approach and departure angles on and off the ferry. So here we are back at the Wentlock River. Moreton Telegraph Station's just up on the top of the hill there. But this was the goal for today. We got here and no one else was camped here. So I've set the tent up just to see if anyone takes notice and calls in to say I can't camp here. 2 Ranger cruisers went past as I stopped here, and yeah, they didn't say anything, so we'll stop. It is 2 o'clock, so it's earlier than what I normally pull into camp at, but we've got finally got sunshine back, which is brutally hot, but It's not in the full sun, but we do have more solar going into the battery now than what the fridge is pulling out, so there might be a bit more afternoon sun that comes through. So I just noticed a very large hawk sitting in the tree just downstream, so we're probably not going to get the drone out tonight. But yeah, more power is going into the sun, into the battery, so as long as that keeps up for most of the arvo, we'll be right for the night. And then I've got to clean some stuff up, resort some stuff, because this is an absolute schmozzle. I need to do something about all this crap. That's the mattress that was in the rooftop tent. I don't know if I mentioned it in the first video, but we stopped in at BCF in Townsville and got a self-inflating mat, something a bit thicker, something a bit more durable. It's been good for a day or two, but now it's starting to feel hard again, so I'm going to put that back in it and then put the self-inflating mat on top, and that should be enough to make it a bit more comfier. But we stopped in at the croc hut and got some paraphernalia. While we were out cruising around getting lost in the sand yesterday, my base here has some screws screwing the mat to the old milk crate. I did have it situated so those screws were straddling the lid. I must have buggered up and had one sitting above it because it pushed through, and we had a bit of water ingress from that container, but it's alright. It seems right now. Half corked it and going to get and not just fill it up for the rest of the trip, leave it down a bit. But now that we're off, well, we're nearly off Bamaga Road. We've got a little bit of dirt on Bamaga Road to go, which is good dirt from what I remember, and then we've just got the PTR to get back down, which there are some bad bits of that. I don't know what that bird is, but there's two of them. Heard a similar thing overnight at Somerset Beach, and I assumed it was frogs or something in the mangroves, but no, must be birds. There's 3 really bad sections of bull dust just south, probably 5k south, if that, of Bramwell Junction, and they're just vehicle swallowers. No way to get around them, and there'd be 1.5 feet thick of bull dust, and just just pulls you straight up. So I think from memory I showed you all this. I've already been out to have a bit of a soak once already. I'll dry it now so I can do the rooftop tent, get all my bedding and shit organised. We're probably not gonna, we might just have 1 or 2 sly beers tonight, but we're not gonna go too hard just in case we do get a knock or someone turns up. But some would say the mighty Wenlock River this time of year. She's similar to Darling, I suppose, just cleaner water. Couple of things that I've noticed on this trip so far that I was worried about and haven't been an issue. One is flies. As you can see, there's nothing buzzing around my head. There's been next to no flies for the entire trip. The worst stuff for flies were when I got out and got a photo off the sign crossing the Queensland border at Hebel. They were buzzing, and that's typical Hebel and me. I knew that. Mosquitoes, I've got 2 mosquito bites in there from when I started my mate's place in Townsville. I've seen some smaller ones getting around, but like down home, they're just too small to do anything or worry you. And midges, question mark? I still don't know what a midgie is. I haven't witnessed any yet, which is probably a good thing. So this October time to come up here might be better than mid-year when everyone else comes up. I've definitely noticed a lot more traffic on the road today coming back, it being a Friday, compared to when I come up Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know, as I said, we're expressing, we're getting this trip sorted out pretty quick and getting through it. Yeah, unfortunately, well, everyone just seems to be in a hurry. You slow down, and not just for dust, but everyone's running mud tyres or aggressive tyres, and you know they're just going to throw rocks, but people seem to just knock it down a gear and hold it flat. But anyway, this is going to be our base camp for the night. I think it's about 31, 32 degrees, but it doesn't feel too bad. That breeze is blowing, and the clothes are still damp, which is good, but nothing special tonight for tea. I've got some ham there I've got to finish, and some salad I've got to finish, so it's going to be a salad wrap again. And then in the morning, no, that might do it for the top. So we've conquered the Cape, survived the Cape, got north of the Jardine ferry, got north of the Jardine ferry, and done everything we needed to up there. I did go and visit some of the World War II stuff, but I didn't need to film that. Everyone's filmed that stuff. Granted, I've filmed the same sort of things, going to the sign and that, but that's that'll be for a different time. Oh, you might have noticed that we didn't do Fruit Bat Falls or Elliot Falls or Twin Falls. I wasn't going to stay there, so going and getting wet and getting back in the car, it was bad enough stopping here on the way up and getting wet, and then not being able to find my second towel because it's buried in there somewhere. And yeah, having wet seats and that sort of stuff. You can still smell the dampness in there yesterday, but again, you see every time someone does a trip, they stop there. You've seen them. I'm still sceptical that they're crocodile free, but considering people have sent drones up and you can see crocodiles upstream, but yeah, we didn't do it this trip. Again, something for the next trip. As I said to the blokes in the croc tent this morning, if you do everything in the one trip up here, then there's no reason to come back. And by the time we get home, without doing the crab at least once, we're probably going to come under a $1,500 budget for fuel, and yeah, we're probably going to be right around the $2,000 mark total trip expenses, and that's not bad for 14 days from Victoria. So anyway, set up cruiser. So signing off before people come in here. Catch you in the next video. I hope you like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, next stop, we're going to go down to Lakefield, Battle Camp Road, go across to Cooktown, down Cape Trib, Caoe Bay, all that sort of stuff, Daintree and into Cairns. So that'll be the last main focus part of the trip, and then we might just do something for the trip home. There's some stuff I want to see. Making note of places like this on the way up that would be spots of interest on the way home, especially if you can get to them to camp for the night. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in part 4.